My name is Kate Kelly, and I'm the business plumber. And I'm here to interview David Toombs. David is a photographer based in Suffolk, and he and I the other day were meeting at a networking event, and he was talking to me about pricing. Many of my clients have problems with pricing, many of them struggle, and I think some of those struggles are reflected in what David is talking about. So tell me, David, how long have you been in business?
I went full-time professional in October 2012, so about 2 years really.
About 2 years. What were you doing before that?
I had my normal business, but I was a semi-professional, so I would work at weekends, I would support other photographers and do events as they came up.
So building your business to the point where you could jump ship?
Yes, and I've learnt a lot in that jumping ship. Big decision, but I've enjoyed it.
So how have you found it?
A challenge. One of the first things I had to sort out was my pricing. I'm a competent photographer, but the pricing I struggled with, what do you charge? What are you worth? They were all big challenging questions. I'm not convinced I've got it right.
I think it's something we're all struggling with, isn't it? Yes. So how did you find looking at whether or not you were making profit?
Well, I recently had a job in London. I was really pleased that I got this job, and I was scribbling down the plans, and I started to put down the numbers, and I thought, this is costing a lot of money. So I actually modelled it on an Excel spreadsheet, very simple, the cost of the job, the travel, the car parking, the tickets, the train, and I costed in the time for me. And when I costed it out on the model, it was just very expensive, very, very expensive. So I took out the hours that I was travelling and just charged for the time I'd be doing the photographs. And it was costing me £23 to do this job. I struggled with that a little bit.
Yes, so you were paying to do the job.
Exactly. Now, as it turned out, I did the job because I looked at it from a marketing point and I could see there was emergent work going to come from this job. But there was a conscious decision to do this rather than a finger in the air. I needed a little bit of science behind why I'd taken this job.
People lose track of their costs and they forget to put half of them in quite often, so that's why people underprice.
Yes, and when it's on a spreadsheet, and I actually save that spreadsheet and stick it in the file, so I can come back to it another time and say, well, why did this cost what it did? And I think people can lose track of the costs.
So you're continually refining your spreadsheet. I must remember to put in parking, I must remember to put in the cost of having a meal, that kind of thing.
Yes, for a small job, if somebody comes in and wants a quick couple of photographs, then I won't. But if it's a significant job, yes, I model everything, and it's having that business discipline to do that and not just cuff it. And it's opened my eyes to a couple of things, to say the least.
How do people react to that? I mean, I can imagine there'd be people who came to you while you were semi-professional, who perhaps are coming back after 2 or 3 years, want another photograph, and suddenly finding your pricing has changed quite considerably.
Yes, I have had to change my pricing because if you put in all the costs, it's only fair and reasonable that you charge the right amount. And there's always that sort of desire to say, well, I'll undercut. It's no good being a price-cutting business. It's got to be you get paid a fair amount for the job you do. And I put a lot in and I produce a damn good product. And I do think it's reasonable that I get the right amount for it. And instead of having this little inner guilt about, oh, I shouldn't be charging this. Yes, I should, and that's something I've learned to do.
So have you ever had people walk away because your prices are too high?
Yes, I have actually. I think people nowadays expect it practically for free, and they come along and they want a portrait session and they expect £20. If you just look at the camera kit and something, you just can't do that. You've got to charge a fair and reasonable amount. Having said that, you've got to produce the goods. What separates me from somebody with a reasonably priced digital camera and a flash is the quality. So you've got to make sure that the quality you're producing is commensurate with the price you're charging.
And then people will come to you because other people will recommend you.
Yes, and it's not just about using the camera, it's about clicking with the people as well, to get the best from them.
Thank you very much for sharing it with us.
Thank you very much, Kate.